Welcome to our new educational video. For today's video, we're going to tackle this all about media information literacy from lesson 1 to lesson 6. First, we're going to proceed in our first lesson. Lesson 1, communication. So what is communication? Communication is the act or process of using words, signs, sounds, or behavior to express or exchange information or to express your ideas, thoughts, feelings, etc. to someone else. The exchange of information and expression of feelings that can result in understanding. What are the two basic types of communication? There are two basic types of communication. First is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is composed of signs, symbols, colors, gestures, body language, and facial expressions. And another one is verbal communication. Verbal communication is composed of two. This is oral and written. So we're going to move on and five types of transmission models. The first transmission model is lateral communication model 1942. First is communicator. Says what the message, in which channel, medium, to whom, receiver, with what effect. And another one, the second one is reception model. Barlow's SNCR model of communication, 1960. Input, source, message, channel, decodes, and receiver. In source, we have communication, skills, attitudes, knowledge, social system, culture. And message, we have content, element, treatment, structure, and code. Channel, we have hearing, seeing, touching, smelling, and tasting. And in receiver, we have communication, skills, attitude, knowledge, social system, culture. And the third one is transmission model. Transmission model, channel reverse, communication model, 1940, information source, sender, transmitter, encoder, channel, reception, decoder, distinction and receiver, noise, feedback. Reception model, this is the fourth one. Encoder, interpreter, decoder, message, decoder, interpreter, encoder, message. Okay, that is the side of reception model. Lastly, we have transmission model. Winsley and Matlab model of communication 1929. Event and information. Feedback is educate A, channel C, audience is B. How is communication affected by media and information? Media communication tools. Composed of media, television, newspaper, internet, radio, and magazine. Information, data, knowledge derived from study, experience, or instruction. Signals or symbols. Knowledge of specific events or situations. That is communication.
Next is Lesson 2. Lesson 2 is all about the evolution of traditional to new media.
We have 4 different ages in evolution of media. First, pre-industrial age. Second, industrial age. Third, electronic age. And the last one, new or information age. First is, what is pre-industrial age?
Pre-industrial age. This is where people discovered fire, developed paper from plants, and forged weapons and tools from stone, copper, iron, and bronze. So for example is, first, cave paintings, then clay tablets in Mesopotamia, then papyrus in Egypt, Acta Diurna in Rome, Dibao in China, Codex in Mayan region, and printing press using woodblocks.
And what is industrial age?
Industrial age. In this age, people did not just use fire. People also used the power of steam, developed machine tools, established iron production, and the manufacturing of various products, including books through printing press. Examples of these are printing press for mass production, newspaper, typewriter, telephone, motion picture, photography slash projection, commercial motion picture with sound, telegraph, and punch card.
What is electronic age?
Electronic age. This is the age where people invented the transistor. People harnessed the power of transistor that led to transistor radio, electronic circuits, and the early computer. In this age, long-distance communication became more efficient. So right here is the example of electronic age. First, transistor radio. Second, television, 1941. Third, large electronic computers. Fourth, mainframe computers. And last, OHP LCD projectors.
What is new or information age?
New or information age? Well, we are now living in that age. New or information age where internet paved the way for faster communication and the creation of social network. People advanced the use of microelectronics with the invention of personal computers, mobile devices, and wearable technology. Moreover, voice, image, sound, and data are digitalized. We are now living in the new information age. So right here will appear the different examples of new or information age. That's all for the evolution of traditional to new media. Lesson 2.
For our lesson 3, it's all about information literacy. So what is information literacy? Information literacy is the ability to recognize when information is needed and to locate, evaluate, and effectively use and communicate information in its various formats. We have 5 components of information literacy. First, identify. An information literate student can identify the nature and extent of information needed. Second, find. An information literate student can find needed information effectively and efficiently. And 3, evaluate. An information literate student can evaluate information and its source critically. And 4, apply. An information literate student can apply information effectively to accomplish a specific purpose. And the last, acknowledge. An information literate student can acknowledge sources of information and the ethical, legal, socioeconomic issues and surrounding information. And that's all for literacy.
So our lesson 4 is about the types of media. So we have 3 types. The first one is print media.
And the second one is broadcast media.
And the last one, digital or new media. So what is print media? Media consisting of paper and ink reproduced in printing process that is traditionally mechanical. So let me give you an example of print media.
First, books. So what is books? Materials can be fictional or non-fictional. Almanacs, fiction theories like countries all over the world. Dictionary, just to find a definition of words, pronunciation. Atlas, collection of maps.
So the second example is newspaper. What is newspaper? Printed weekly or daily basis. So in newspaper, we have 2 types, the tabloid and the broadsheet. So what is tabloid? Tabloid is speak for those who prefer reading condensed news and entertainment articles that uses informal language. Broadsheet are usually the professionals who prefer reading formal news and in-depth reading analysis of issues.
And third example of print media is magazine. So what is magazine? It is a periodical publication released weekly, monthly, or quarterly that contains articles on various topics depends on the subject area the magazine covers. And the fourth is journal. What is journal? Similar to newspaper, contains informative article, provides accurate report on the specific topics usually used in titles. Fifth, newsletter. So what is newsletter? Released by the company or organization for special purposes. It can be a bulletin where a company or organization informs and updates its reader.
So the 6th is gazette. What is gazette? It is an official publication of the government, organization, or an institute which is intended for public notices or listing of appointment. 7. Pamphlets can be a small booklet, a leaflet, or a primer. It contains detailed yet easy to understand and text with images. 8. Brochure. It is a small book or magazine that contains pictures and information about the products or services offered by a company.
9. Pamphlets and flyers refers to a printed sheet of paper which contains about a product for advertising purposes.
So the second types of media is broadcast media. What is broadcast media? Media such as a radio, television that reach target audiences using airwaves as the transmission medium.
So, let me give you an example of broadcast media. First, radio. What is radio? It is a technology of signaling or communicating using radio waves. So in radio, there is a person that made a wireless telegraph in 1895 using radio waves. He was able to transmit Morse code using the instrument he made. Using transistors, the flow of electricity in radio and other types of broadcast media can be controlled. That man is Guglielmo Marconi. So, DJ or desk jockey. Radio announcer delivering the news or play music through airwaves. It can set to AM or amplitude modulation or FM frequency modulation.
Second, television. So what is television? It is equipped with an electronic system capable of sending images and sounds via right or through space.
Third is film. What is film? Similar to television, show as it offers a variety of themes and genres, also movie or motion pictures show on pictures.
The third types of media is digital or new media. So, digital or new media, it is a contents are organized and distributed on digital form.
First, Internet is an electronic communication network that connects computers, users through various networks in organizational computer facility around the world.
So, in internet, there are features. The first one is web page, where it is that contains information about a person or an organization and are made available online by any individual, institution, and organization. Second, hypertext. It allows a user to get information and go from one document to another by clicking on highlighted words. Third, instant messaging. Users can interact with another user through online chat in real time. Fourth, email. Electronic messages. A user can send information to other people.
Number 5, distance education. Study online in any part of the world. 6 is ebook. Refers to digital electronic version of a printed book. 7. Online shopping. So what is online shopping? Can shop and buy online at their most convenience because they can purchase while at home.
So, what are the functions of media? Reporting the news, interpreting the news, influencing citizens' opinion, setting the political agenda, gatekeeper function, or channels the news flow that reaches the public. So that's all for lesson 4.
Now, let's move on to the lesson 5, which is the codes, convention, and language of media. We have our objectives. You are expected to first define codes, convention, and language of media. Second, identify the codes and convention presented. And last, use the codes and convention of media in presenting an issue. We have our 3 types of contents on how to use the language of media, codes, and conventions. First is language. Language pertains to the technical and symbolic ingredients or codes and conventions that media and information professional may select and use in an effort to communicate ideas, information, and knowledge. So language is used to connect our ideas, knowledge, and information using the codes, symbolic, convention, and language of media. And the second one is
Media language.
are the codes, convention, formats, symbols, and narrative structure that indicate the meaning of media message to an audience.
And lastly,
The third one, the third is message, are the information sent from a source to a receptor.
so that's are the three types of table contents that we can use to connect or to use the codes, convention, and language of media. Now, let's proceed. What are the three types of media codes? We have the symbolic codes, technical codes, and the written codes. First, symbolic codes are social in nature, such as code exists beyond the media product themselves but can be interpreted in similar ways in the everyday life of the viewer. So that are the symbolic codes. Symbolic codes is that what we use in every day. Like the symbol of Christianity, that is a cross, which is the symbol for the people who believe in Jesus Christ. The next one is settings, the time and place of narrative. It can be setting of the whole story or just a specific scene. This will create atmosphere and a build frame of mind young. So it means setting is where the time and place are being selected, are being shooted by the scenes.
Next is mise en scene, a French term meaning everything within a frame. Costumes and props are included in the analysis and the frame, Young 2017.
And next are the acting.
Acting, an actor portrays a character that will lead character develop and tension making through facial expression, body, language, and vocal qualities.
So, who, the actor is the one who portrays, and by using the body language, face expression, and the vocal of his voice or her voice, it means being having or giving the codes that sending a message to the viewer that what is kind or what type of characters she's or her him is been portraying. The next one is color, used to connect connotation to specific scenes, character, or object. Red for intense is typically seen as color of passion, danger, romance, or violence. Green is connected to nature or sickness. Blue is calm and depression. Purple is seen to be connected with royalty. So that's how we use colors as our symbols or codes in every scene or the character that we portray. And last, we have the technical codes. According to Arnell, Pink, technical codes are all the ways in which equipment used to tell a story in media text, like camera techniques, framing and lighting, and etc. Camera works.
Refers to how the camera is handled, positioned, and moved for specific effects like a high-angle camera shot to create a feeling of power in a photograph.
So using the camera works, we are able to tell which is the location or what kind of scenario is being taken at the shoot. We have the lightning. According to Robert Young, lightning is the manipulation of natural or artificial light at the sensitively lighting specific elements of the scene. So it means the light is part of the importance of the camera work because it can tell what is the artificial things that can be used. And we have the audio, is the expressive of the naturalistic use and sounds. It includes dialogue, sound effect, and music. So, by audio, we can identify what kind of scene has been taken. And lastly, we have the
Are the formal written language used in a media product. These include language styles and textual layout like headlines, captions, speech bubbles, and criticism.
so that is the three types of codes, convention, and language of media.
Our next lesson is Lesson 6, Intellectual Property, Copyright, and Fair Use Guidelines. So the first one is copyright.
Copyright is a legal device authorizing the creator of a literary piece, artistic work, musical, or other creative compositions the sole right to publish and sell such work. Copyright owners have the right to control the reproduction of their works, including the right to receive payment for the reproduction. An author may grant or sell those rights to others, including publisher or recording companies. Violation of such right is called infringement. Copyright, ito ay isang karapatan ng isang tao na kung saan naparamihin ang kanyang sariling gawa o di kaya ibenta. Na kung saan pag ito ay na-violate, ang tawag dito ay copyright infringement.
And the second is plagiarism.
Plagiarism is an instance of using or closely imitating the language and thoughts of another author without authorization. The representation of that author's works and was own, as by not crediting the original. So, the plagiarism is, ito yung panggagaya ng isang tao sa gawa ng author. Then, wala siyang pahintulot na kopyahin yung gawa ng isang tao. And then yung sabi din dito, na yung representation ng isang author is isa lang yung kanyang magagawa. Hindi siya yung, kumbaga, kinokopya niya lang yung gaya ng iba at hindi siya yung sariling gumawa nito, kundi yung totoo, yung honor yung gumawa nito. So, yun, that is the plagiarism.
And the last is phishing. It's a cybercrime in which a target or targets are contacted by email, telephone, and text message by someone posing as a legitimate institution to lure individuals into providing sensitive data such as personally identifiable information, banking and credit card details, and password. The information is then used to access important accounts and can result in identity thief and financial loss. So, ang phishing daw ay umatake ito sa mga fraudulent emails, text message, phone calls, or websites na nagdi-design ito para manipulate ang mga tao para ma-download itong malware at may shares sa mga sensitive information. For example, social security and credit card numbers, bank account numbers, login credential, or taking other action that expose themselves. According to Republic Act number 8293 or the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines, an act prescribing the Intellectual Property Code and establishing the Intellectual Property Office, providing for its powers and functions and other purposes. So, ang batas na ito ay nagbibigay ng karapatan o kapangyarihan na sino man na magtayo ng sariling property codes na sumailalim sa function ng batas na ito.
So, things to remember. Copyright. So, ito yung karapatan ng isang tao na paramihin at ipabinta ang kanyang gawa. And the second is plagiarism. So, ito yung panggagaya ng isang tao sa gawa ng iba. And then, the next is cyberbullying. So, ito yung pambubuli ng mga taong gamit yung social media. And the next is phishing. So, ito yung panghahack ng mga account ng ibang tao. Last is digital divide. So, sakop na nito ang ating economy. So,
That's all for lesson 6.